MrGaleer, the kings of the ring. Dropkick the Commute, we're just getting started still. Mufussy MrGaleer.
He's powering up. He's getting stronger.
Yes. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Dropkick the Commute. I'm MrGaleer, of course, joined by Mufussy, and we are here to talk about a crazy pay-per-view known as All Out 2024.
Oh, it was crazy. It was. I don't even know how to feel. I had a lot of emotions.
You know it's fake, right?
What? What do you mean?
The wrestling, it's fake.
All right, that's gonna be it. Thank you guys for joining us.
Beep beep.
That's it for me. No, yeah, it was fucking nutty, dude. Like, there was a lot of stuff. It's getting a lot of heat. Some people are saying, has AEW gone too far? Exclamation point, question mark, question mark, question mark. No. All the people that are saying it's gone too far are the people saying, I missed the Attitude Era. Yeah, which part? Which part do you miss if it's not the violence?
I'm confused. Yeah.
Which part, huh?
They just want the bra and panties matches. And
right. Yeah, it's very telling. I
they
think.
want to objectify women.
Yeah, it's very telling. No, it was fucking crazy. Honestly, let's hop into the main event because it was fucking insane.
Oh man.
Unsanctioned lights out steel cage match between Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page. Right out of the gate, Swerve was trying to decapitate Hangman with the cage.
Yeah. I think it's very funny when the announcers are like,
they're gonna
oh my god, he's gonna try and decapitate him.
And it's going like this. It's like going this slow. They're like, oh my god, he's gonna kill him. He's gonna kill him.
We don't deal with decapitation a lot in wrestling. I
don't think so.
This was fresh and exciting.
Fresh and new. It was fun. Dude, there were so many parts in this match where I visibly and audibly cringed. I was like, oh, like,
yeah.
Dude, the part with the cinder block specifically, like when he dropped, first of all, he dropped Hangman on it and it like the edge caught his back.
Like scraped his back.
Oh, I've done that before with like my hand, right? Like I'll move a cinder block and I'm like, fuck. But dude, I cannot even imagine. Yeah, and then Hangman did it to Swerve later, just fucking flat vertebrae, like, oh my god.
And like, it is a real, at least maybe gimmicked. I don't know the detail, but like it had weight to it. You could tell it absorbed his back
just from the scrape. If you had a gimmicked like cinder block or whatever, like even that is like, because you can rub your hand across a cinder block and be like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
Like that shit was, you can't fake that.
No, and just the way like Swerve like folded around the cinder block when he went down on it was just like,
there was a lot in this match. I think the in-ring storytelling was really good. Some people are in-ring storytelling, they just murdered each other. But there was a lot of little things that was like, it added up, and I think it helped with their performance. Like it was insane. And jumping towards the end here, if we want, well, even I don't even know where to go. Like halfway through, we had staples. Of course, the staple gun. We weren't expecting anything.
Staples from there.
That's another part. I audibly cringed. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
staple to the cheek.
There was a house call. It kicked his head into the steel cage.
Oh my god.
Vile, just absolutely vile. He took a piece of like charcoal from the burnt down house and was gonna use it, and then Swerve used it and just started like hammering it in on his head.
Dude, there was a part when Hangman was on the ground and fucking Swerve, he swung that arm. If Adam Page did not catch his arm, it would have like stabbed him. Like he fucking just went for it. Like he didn't slow down, he didn't stop, he just fucking went. And Yeah, the charcoal pictures of his family, like
Stapled to.
stapled to him.
There were so many points in this match where me and my friends were watching, and there were so many points where something crazy happens and they kick out, and it's
Yeah.
like, what more are they going to do? Not even like in a kayfabed way, like. How the fuck do you get crazier than they've already
Yeah.
gotten? We've drank another man's blood, like at one point, you know.
Yeah.
And he looks at Swerve and he's like, "I'm gonna embarrass you. Like you're done." Pulls out his grill, throws it on the ground, just fucking disrespect. And then he pulls out a goddamn needle.
A syringe with some kind of substance in it. It was water, probably, but still.
Opens it and pops it in his mouth, and that shit is sticking in there. I don't know to what degree. What, again, a gimmicked needle likely, but it was something allowed for it to stick in his mouth. This man committed biological warfare on Swerve.
So that's number one. That's the first thing why the internet's in a frenzy. And number two, we had probably the most devastating chair shot to the head in 10 years. It was more devastating than the Jack Perry one. This shit was like insane.
And it sucks too because they cut the camera to the hard cam like right as he hit it.
Yeah.
So you can't really see the true impact of it.
But also,
You can imagine that was gimmicked to a degree.
it was because it didn't have the supporting bar on it, so it folded in on itself. But still,
Right.
that shit was bent. He hit him. He followed through, and say what you will about chair shots to the head, like, and head damage and all that, and. I do think there's a degree that you shouldn't take it to, but they obviously took some safety precautions here. Like,
I'm sure.
And I think it made sense with the story. Like, say, like, people will hate on it and say, oh, useless violence, but Hangman wants to destroy Swerve Strickland.
He wants to kill him.
He wants to fucking murder him, and that is what happened. And at the end, when they left the cage, Hangman walked up the ramp and was like questioning what he just did. His lip was quivering, and he like went to go back, and then he stopped himself, walked back, and then I saw another POV that wasn't shown in the pay-per-view, but after he like screamed and let out all his rage or whatever at the top of the ramp, he like was gonna walk through the babyface tunnel and stopped. And he stood there, and then he walked right through the heel tunnel. And like, dude, that little shit right there, absolutely fire.
There's your storytelling,
Right.
And also, you're gonna be like this is a rivalry that has gone on for almost a year. There is absolutely storytelling in all of this. There's you see through the violence, the photos, stapling the photos to him. The fucking. The thing with the from the house, like just little things here and there that make up a story that has been brewing for such a long time. And yeah, man, we this made a lot of people uneasy. And I respect it if it's too far for some people. I like genuinely cringed at like those all the high points of the match, but I don't know. I appreciated it to a degree just because it's very outside of the box. When have you seen a fucking hypodermic needle be used in a match? When have you like seen anything like that? It makes me like. When I think of thinking outside the box, it reminds me of that match. I think it was Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy when they were in a Hell in a Cell, and he like put the screwdriver through his gauge and like twisted it.
Yeah.
I think of that, and I appreciate the thinking outside of the box. And I also understand why people are saying it's too far. I didn't, as much as I cringed, I didn't mind it, and I also really didn't. Normally, I would have been upset that the ref like calls for the bell in an unsanctioned match. or just the involvement of the ref in general, because there was like a part 2 where he was like telling Hangman to like not use a chair just so they could set him up for that lariat. So, but like I wasn't mad about the ref calling for the bell,
I wasn't either.
In my mind, I was like, he's like, okay, tranquilizer, like Novocaine. He's fucking like ODing him on an anesthetic. Like,
yeah,
some people were saying the fucking AIDS virus. Like,
gave him AIDS.
Oh my god, dude. I mean, and that's kind of nice that we don't know what was in it, because it allows for more people to speculate, and we get some pretty insane takes out of it.
Yeah.
I'd like to think it was probably like tranquilizer of some sort, just that like,
or
you know,
just water. It was a clear substance.
Well, yeah, like
but
I'm
you're
talking
talking
in kayfabe. Of course, it's fucking water. He's not gonna give him actual tranquilizer.
Well, give him some Novocaine to numb the chair shot.
I mean, maybe,
bro. Yeah, it was insane, and it proves that AEW, it's an alternative. It is an alternative. Like WWE currently, and even when they go to Netflix, you can think that, they're gonna go to Netflix and just go unhinged. This shit's not gonna happen there, dude.
No, I don't, and I don't even think like when they go to Netflix, everyone's like they're gonna swear all the time. Like,
yeah,
I do believe that like too much of something makes it not special.
Oh, for sure.
Like, I think this pay-per-view specifically, I was actually thinking, like, I love blood in matches. I like support that they do it a lot, but they do it a lot. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I did notice, especially in this pay-per-view, like half of the matches, there was blood, and like, it's like the swearing. I remember the first time I heard swearing on AEW TV was like MJF promoing on Cody, and he was like, "Your shitty little lisp," and then, and I was like, "They just say the shit word on TV," and then they started using it more and started using it more. I don't mind it, but now it doesn't have the punch that it does when it's like WWE starting to do it now, but I think they're, making it few and far between so that it has that punch. Like when Pat McAfee was like, "Dominic, you little piece of shit."
Yeah.
Or like, I remember there was one point in like 2020, it was like Shayna Baszler and Becky Lynch, and Shayna Baszler was like in this super villain arc. She like took a bite out of Becky's like neck, and then like the next week she wasn't there. She was on the screen, and she was like, "Becky, I'm gonna tear your shit in," and I was like, "Whoa,
the shit word on WWE."
In 2020, which is but I think this is why AEW is the alternative, because it like pushes those boundaries of like what's comfortable with some people, and you might scare some people off that way. Unfortunately, like
it's true.
Very honestly, this spot like probably turned a lot of people off to the product, and that's a very risky move. But again, AEW, I think now is less of a, obviously there's a competitive aspect to it, but I think it's less focused on being a competitor and more focused on bringing in like a diehard audience,
right?
Like that, and that's where I think. I mean, I'm there. I love AEW. So
the Costco guys are all elite. During the pre-show, the Iron Savages came out, and they mentioned the Savage Sauce, the double chocolate chunk Savage Sauce, and we got a big boom from the Costco guys. Later on in the pre-show, they had them, Renee and RJ City were interviewing them, and they were like, "What do you think of this wrestler?" And they go, "That's a big boom." And the only wrestler they gave a doom to was MJF.
Fuck that guy.
Call him out. Call him out.
Dude. Book it. AJ versus actually put Big Justice in there. I think he can hold his own.
Tony Khan decided to bring in the Costco guys, give them front row to Hangman stabbing Swerve with a fucking hypodermic needle.
I love it. I love
so
it.
good.
And I didn't realize AJ used to be like a wrestler.
Yeah, I literally said that too. I was like, what? He used to wrestle in New Jersey in the Indies. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So, very funny there. Costco guys are all elite. Get them signed, put them in a tag match. Give them the belts, honestly. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, you could just like, I'm sorry, I'm looking him up. He has a highlight reel on someone posted his highlight reel on Reddit.
No way.
His name was Eric Justice.
Oh, so
he
that's
was
why
in
he calls his kid Big Justice, probably.
That's cute. Even though you're exploiting your kid, but
Yo, real talk. That guy has been doing content, not just wrestling. He's been grinding for like 18 years or some shit.
you got to give it to him. you know?
Yeah. He's crazy.
But yeah, he's maybe this isn't the last we'll see of him. Who knows?
Yeah, bring him back. There is one match I want to kind of talk about very quickly in the pre-show. It was a tag match with Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, and Hologram. What a cool team. What a cool team. Throwing Hologram into that mix, it really worked well for them. And, super fast-paced, super action-packed, and it was just fun.
I gotta give a lot to they faced the premier athletes. I gotta give a lot to them too because they were cooking.
Yeah.
They're just kind of like the Collision team right now, but they're being featured, which is cool. I don't know how they get themselves past that point though, but I think they could. I think they could end up being like winning those Ring of Honor championships. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
There's potential.
Our first match on the card, this was the first of 4 attempted murders on the show. MJF versus Daniel Garcia. What's he doing? Oh my god! It's the Garcia dance.
I think they're stopping him doing the dance so that people will take him more seriously.
Yeah, it's working. We had some really good build to this match. I gotta say, even though we had less than 2 weeks between All In and All Out, I think the build to this match was pretty solid. And it also kind of started before All In as well, so they kind of took some of that storytelling and wrapped it up here. This was great. I don't know. It was our classic like MJF, seeing everything that you get with him, and I love the banner. He came out, he had the banner, and
Thank me later.
Yeah. Thank me later.
The banner is a nice touch for sure.
It is. It was so funny. It fell down. They detached it from the top and it fell on the front crowd, like the front row, and they're like, ah. And the security guards are like, bring it in. It was. Really funny.
I see MJF, continues to use the Panama Sunrise.
I think so.
Do you think they're gonna do Adam Cole versus MJF if Adam Cole ever comes back? Do you think that's too far gone, or do you think that's like a nod to that whole? Because he didn't use that move until
Adam Cole,
or until after, really.
I think they would have a tough time if they tried to do it again.
I think like that. I feel like that ship has sailed.
It sucks because it's not their fault too. Like he got injured, whatever. And he's been out. So it's not, in this case, it's not a thing with them not striking while the iron's hot. It's just they couldn't do it at the time.
Yeah.
And I do think they would have some trouble if they did it again. And I don't know if it would reach nearly the same heights as it was,
Well, I think about how like Adam Cole randomly came back at Double or Nothing just to kind of job to MJF.
Yeah.
He returned to no pop. Like I don't think people even really popped for him.
It wasn't no pop, but it was like not.
But it was just like
big.
Oh, whoa, Adam Cole's here, but it wasn't like
Yeah.
So that's what I worry about, just because of the way things have gone. People like are becoming less and less interested in that, and like, is he gonna stay healthy, or is he gonna like this? He's almost been out technically for like a year. It was Grand Slam last year, I think.
Yeah.
So like, it must be a pretty serious injury unless he's just like taking his time. I don't know, but I see the Panama Sunrise as like, yeah, he does it because he was on a tag team with Adam Cole, but like also at this point, like it's almost like a disrespect to Adam Cole when you think about it.
Yeah.
So, just a little thought there. Also, oh, I had another thing. What was it? I fucking forget. I don't remember. This match was really good, man. Danny Garcia obviously as like the underdog, just getting screwed over at the last second because MJF can't not cheat.
After the match, so MJF wins, you know, he's a little cheater. MJF wins and he gets up and he goes to, you know, do a handshake with Garcia and it got flipped this time. Garcia kicked MJF in the nuts.
Yeah.
And then fucking hit him with a corner pile driver. So MJF is dead. He's been murdered in the ring. And I don't see this story ending anytime soon. I think MJF's going to come back and, you know, be like, oh, you tried to fucking murder me. I think it's going to be like a best 2 out of 3 kind of thing here.
Yeah, we're not done here for sure. And I think MJF will like come back in a couple weeks maybe.
Yeah.
I think Danny will start to rack up some wins, and then maybe they'll, I don't know, get to another point where it's like a pretty big deal. But go Danny Garcia.
Yeah.
Know. I'm still like riding the high of like seeing him back at All In.
Yeah.
I love that man.
Young Bucks versus Claudio and Willow Yuta. Really, really great match. Unfortunately, the Young Bucks retain.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But Claudio looked really, really strong in this match. There was a crazy moment where they went to go do the Meltzer driver, the TK driver. They went to go do it, and Claudio fucking caught Nick Jackson like out of the air and then immediately started swinging him. I was like, that is insane. The strength you need for that.
Yeah, and that's a very deceptively strong dude. Like he's big.
Yeah.
And he's jacked, but you don't think he's
he
that
doesn't
jacked.
look fucking huge, but you can tell he is strong.
He's like very lean, and so it's just it's again very very easy to underestimate. Not to say the Young Bucks are kind of smaller, but still, that's a human being that you're grabbing out of midair.
Yeah.
These Bucks playing their old dirty EVP games, winning with the most dangerous move in all sports entertainment, known as the surprise roll-up. This was like one of a couple of matches in this card that were just kind of like, kept the energy up, but I wasn't invested in them by any means, especially because this one just was the last one to get booked. But it was good.
Our next match, though, fucking blew it out of the water. Will Ospreay versus Pac, man. Holy fucking shit, dude.
I had people at the birthday party that were crowded around the TV during this match.
Hell yes.
They were like, this isn't like a flex or anything. It was my birthday this weekend. There were like 20 people there.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, yep, there was a lot of people kind of like intermingling groups of people. At least half the party was crowded around the TV during this match.
Hell yeah.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because Will Ospreay is the best wrestler in the world.
He's fucking incredible.
And Pac's really good.
Pac is good too, but dude, if I don't understand, like we posted the Will Ospreay entrance and we've posted other TikToks about Will Ospreay and people hate on him. And I'm like, how?
That's
because
the
he's
aura
flippy.
that everyone talks. Yeah, he's flippy, but do you know? Again, it's different strokes for different folks, man.
I guess.
I mean, I also don't get how you could look at that and be like, bad.
Yeah.
I can understand it's not for you.
Yeah.
But like objectively, like it's talent.
During his entrance, every single time he comes out, the entire crowd is behind him. And how can you not
the guy,
be?
Dude.
That's
AEW
the guy.
AEW world champ in a year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like that unless he holds that international for a while. It's Ospreay is my future world champ.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega was my favorite in AEW. Will Ospreay has since surpassed that.
Well, it's because Kenny
not-
Omega can't be there.
Yeah, and I'd love to see them run it back if Kenny Omega gets healthy, though.
Lots of high flying, obviously, because of who they are, and their pacing was really, really good the whole time. I was not bored. I did not look away. It was fucking crazy. We had a really cool moment where he went to do the Oz Cutter, on the apron like he does. So he was like, He jumps off the corner and goes to do it. Pac stops him, catches him, and then does a fucking German suplex on the apron. And I was like, that's another moment where I like audibly and visibly cringed. I was like, oh my God.
Well, yeah, there is a point too where I think Ospreay was like dropped on his neck or something like that, and he sells like a motherfucker, man.
Yeah, he does.
I also adore when he pulls out the Styles Clash, dude.
Right before that, though, we gotta talk about that. Like into the Styles Clash when they flipped into each other.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you can physically do that.
Yeah.
And so they pinned, and then he stands up, does a Styles Clash.
The man has not had a bad match since he's showed up.
Yeah. He really hasn't.
Since he's been signed. Honestly, before he's been signed too, he was in matches here, and he managed to put on an incredible match with Chris Jericho, and I hold that like that's like an accomplishment in my eyes.
Yeah. My second favorite match of the night, very close to favorite, was Willow and Chris Statlander. The shit they pulled out in this match was incredible. I think it was a really good highlight to women's wrestling, and they're incredible. They're incredible athletes.
Yeah. I think Chris and Willow Nightingale are like, I'd say Chris more than Willow, but equally, I feel like they're pretty overlooked.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people went into this not really sure like what they do, and this was this was a banger, dude.
Yeah.
But again, two people just trying to kill each other. We did not waste any time. Chris power bombed Willow through the fucking announce table, and like AEW's announce tables are tall.
Yeah.
They are like shaped very differently. It took the power bomb for a second, absorbed it, and then it broke.
Yeah.
It was vile. And then
the front of it fell down and like caught Chris in the foot.
on the ankle.
So she like tripped.
Yeah. And then immediately after that, they went and grabbed another table and she tried diving through it, and Willow moved out of the way. Statlander goes right through the table. It was like this match.
Did you notice when she came down, she fucking clonked Willow in the head still?
Yeah, they still
with her foot. Dude, yes, she rolled out of the way and Chris jumped off, did like a little swanton, and her foot just literally hit the back of Willow's head. She didn't roll fast enough, and she fucking got flung into the barricade, and I was like, oh my fucking God.
They kept a really good pace. They just kept things moving. They went up the ramp. We had trash can spots. We had fucking light tubes cracking over Chris Statlander's head. Yeah. We go back to the ring, dude. They got chain fucking wrapped around the fist. They got thumbtacks. Like, my God.
We gotta talk about the tax.
We gotta talk about the tax, dude. I think what was the move she was going? It was like a split leg.
She was going to do
drop.
Willow was like bent over the tax, and she went to go do like the split leg drop onto her to bring her face down onto the tax. Willow moves out of the way, and she does the splits right on the tax, bro.
Right on a not so good place.
Yeah. Holy fuck.
This was she just the pain in her eyes, dude. Like, she was screaming. Oh my God, it was
dude, the light tubes there was such a good image. Like, if you're gonna pull out a single still shot from Willow's career, it's this one where she's standing on the ramp with the broken light tubes, and there's a sign in the front row that says AEW is for the sickos. and she's standing there, and she's just like, what a fucking image, dude.
I love that, dude.
The spear off the ramp onto the tables, like on the side. What a good moment.
Top rope Spanish fly.
Top rope Spanish fly. We had a chain come out with 2 straps on the end of it. This shit was so funny. So she like Willow's sitting in the corner and she wraps the chain like strap around Willow's wrist. She goes to put on her own and she can't get it. She can't tighten it up. So she looks at the ref and goes, "Help me!" And he goes, "I can't. And she goes, "I need this." So he ends up putting it on. We had a good little moment there with like, you know, semi strap match type of thing. And the way this ends is Chris takes the chain and just fucking, in our second attempted murder of the night, goes to fucking choke Willow out. And she's got it in her mouth and she's like pulling her back, and Willow calls it there. What a crazy match. Such a highlight.
Yeah, this was definitely like top 3 for me tonight. I'd say like if I had to put it anywhere, it'd be like my second favorite match of the night.
Yeah.
I'd say like Steel Cage.
Yep.
This Ospreay.
Yeah.
Those are my top 3.
Yeah, I agree. That's my same top 3 right there.
Yeah, we had a backstage segment with Will Ospreay, and we had a little meet and greet with Ricochet.
Yeah.
And Ricochet just said, "Hey,
got my eyes on you, kiddo.
got my eyes on you, pal."
I saw you tweeting about how you would love for Ricochet to turn heel. I think that'd be great.
Yeah. I think he's already talking his shit, dude.
Yeah. We would
He's
get
already-
that different Ricochet that we want to see. I think if you have him booked as a babyface and
he was
wouldn't-
never a heel in WWE, I
Right.
don't think.
Yeah. Okada, Cassidy, Takeshita, and Briscoe. Continental title.
Good match. Kept, you know, this was the other match I was talking about that just like kept the energy up. I didn't really care too much about it, but it was just like a proverbial spot fest, as the haters call it. But like it was just like big move after big move after big move.
Lots of trading back and forth, just big sequences. You know, one person comes in, the other person comes in, like just lots of back and forth.
You know, we had some like Okada and Takeshita tension, which was great. That's a match I'd love to see.
Yeah.
And I really feel like Orange Cassidy and Takeshita like were the stars of this match.
For sure. I love watching Takeshita, dude.
He's just a beast.
Yeah. He makes the Blue Thunder Bomb look so fucking clean. Every time he does it, I'm like,
cleaner
insane.
than Sami Zayn?
I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
I
agree.
He
I'd be
just with ease throws him around.
But Okada at the end of it gets in there after everyone's kind of already tired each other out and gets Orange Cassidy with the Rainmaker 1, 2, 3 still Continental champ.
Mercedes Moné and Hikaru Shida. I liked it better than All In.
Yeah, I will agree with
that. I liked it better than All In, but still.
But it was a low point.
Yeah,
this was the low point of the pay-per-view for me.
It was, which sucks.
It does suck because that's your highest paid star allegedly.
Yeah.
I will say, Gil Kloutmar was there with me, and he remembered Shida. He was like, "Hey, wasn't that the girl who was like champion there for like a year?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's
Hell
go."
Yeah.
I love Shida, but this match just it did nothing for me, and I cannot figure out what it is.
Yeah, I think it's just Mercedes' character. I like
who had the TBS before her?
Before Mercedes? She got it from Willow.
Willow, and then Julia Hart before that.
Yeah.
I'd say, in my opinion, I think Julia Hart was like the last good TBS champion.
Yeah.
I don't know. Which is interesting too because the Willow Mercedes match was like so huge.
Yeah.
That was such a huge rivalry, but I think just like a lot of people aren't behind Mercedes, and it's not even like I mean, she's a heel, so they're not supposed to be behind her, but like they're just like not.
Something is not clicking.
What is
and
it?
I don't know.
We need to crack this code. Is it Camille? Do we need Camille to get in there?
We
I
need
think we
Camille.
do.
We
You know,
need
I
a-
think we need to get Camille in there. And
Camille
I'm not,
next TBS champion. Take it from Mercedes. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I do think it's her character because her promo's the same all the time. I'm Mercedes Money. You don't mess with money. I'm the CEO. I'm rich, and you guys hate me. Ha ha ha.
It's almost like she's like Tony Khan in a way, in the way that she talks. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when you watch interviews or listen to Tony Khan interviews, he almost never answers the question.
Right.
And instead will just resort to like self promo.
Well, did you see what he said at the All Out show? Like someone asked him about Britt Baker, and he was like, AEW All In was great. AEW All Out was a great show. Britt Baker, so many things coming up, and we're just gonna have to see where she. Like,
I know we joke about Trump a lot, but like it's very Trump-esque. Like when he used to be like on Twitter.
Yeah.
Or the early days of Trump on Twitter. But like it's just very like, look at this, da 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 da. Or like when he would like shit talk Vince or like shit talk somebody, and then he'd be like, Dynamite tonight, 8/7 Central, after just like dropping a bomb.
Yeah.
I feel like Mercedes is in the same way, like very copy and paste. Like I don't want to say it's no originality because that's her character, but like within her character, there's no originality. It's just the same thing over and over again. And then even like we've pointed out before, like in the press conferences or like in interviews that are like outside of like she's got her kayfabe voice, like something about the cadence I think is just like annoying to me, and I don't know if that's a personal thing or if that's like a widely shared opinion, but like I am personally just like not into it, and it's a shame because I've always loved her as a wrestler, but I also think like her wrestling hasn't been like incredible.
Yeah, there's nothing that's been like holy fucking shit. Like, when I think of Mercedes, to be fair, I haven't seen any of her New Japan stuff, so that's partially on me.
Yeah.
But like when she was in WWE, I immediately think of how good her and Bianca was at WrestleMania, right?
Incredible match. And not even just because of, number one, the historical significance behind it, but number two, like, just their in-ring work together was so good in that match. And then I think of, because when I started watching wrestling again, she was 2 belt banks. She had both, and I did not hate her at all. And I was always entertained by her matches when I was watching. I even liked her when she was in the tag team with Naomi, but we know how that went. But the matches they put on together were solid. And I think that's still the last time that the tag belts felt significant in any way. But her in-ring work in AEW has just been like, whatever. And I don't think that's anyone's fault.
No. And it's certainly not like the All In match. It's certainly not her fault. I feel like she was trying to do a bunch of shit, and Britt Baker just, their chemistry did not work at all.
Yeah.
And this, I feel like it should have worked, and it did to a degree, certainly better than All In, but it just nothing crazy,
Yeah, it wasn't again, low point. I hope we can come back from it, but I'm really just like have her drop the title to someone new, someone fresh. You could do Chris Statlander at this point. I thought that match, by the way, the Chris Statlander match, I thought that was for the CMLL world title.
Yeah, no, it was just a blood feud.
I mean, I like that
Yeah.
TBS, her going for TBS.
You could have her use
have
the
Mercedes,
momentum. Use the momentum from beating Willow to use that to be like, hey, I want a TBS title match.
win or lose. If Mercedes loses, put her in the world title picture. Have her have a banger with Mariah May. Just mix it up. I think also the Shida match just kind of came out of nowhere.
It did.
Because that was also a very last minute match.
Yep.
That had little to no build. So that could also be part of the problem. I feel like the build to the Brit match, it was okay, but we didn't see Brit for like a ton of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's one of those like mysteries where like we got to try something new.
Moving on to our first main event of the evening, and the last one we're going to talk about because we already talked about the main event. Danielson versus Jack Perry. So I still think having Jack Perry go for it was a little weird. And I understand why after seeing some stuff. Like, Jack Perry is the last person to pin Danielson or whatever. Okay, yeah. Cool. Like, that makes sense. But don't do it when he has the TNT title. That is my main problem with it. But regardless of all that, it was a banger. It was a good match.
I had a conversation with my friend Sam, who I'm sure we'll have here at some point.
Yeah.
Because he's a huge wrestling fan. But he was like, man, you're really bent out of shape over this like belts versus belts thing. I was like, yeah, because it's fucking dumb. Like, there are so many people there.
Yeah.
And I get that, and they're doing the same thing with Gunther and Sammy. But you know what the difference is there? Sammy doesn't have a championship right now.
If Sammy had the Intercontinental right now and went for it, I would be just as pissed. Yeah.
It doesn't matter the promotion. I don't like it anywhere. Maybe from time to time. But in that respect, I'd rather like either, I don't know, one of the belts be on the line, or both the belts be on the line, or none of them at all.
The only time I'm okay with it is, number one, if you're unifying them, and number two, if there's like, I don't even know. No, I think that's the only way I'm okay with it. Like, yeah. Think of when Roman when Roman beat Brock, right? He's unifying the titles. He is the biggest star in the company. He wants all the gold. He gets them, unifies them. Totally fine. I'm okay with it.
Right.
And those are the top two belts in the company. In this, the TNT and the AEW World Championship are not on the same level. They're not supposed to be, but the TNT title is big. But it's not like it's the AEW World Championship and like the AEW Championship. You know what I mean? Like, if they introduced another top belt, which they certainly shouldn't do, they have plenty.
They definitely should not.
You're having someone with a lesser title go for a bigger thing while they're carrying it, and it just completely diminishes the lesser title.
I agree, because I think then there could have been reserved room on the card for a match for the TNT title,
right? And that gives him another defense. He's only had one.
And that also reduces your credibility as a champ, in my opinion.
Right.
And same with the Young Bucks. Like, they've only had a certain amount of title defenses. Why are we gonna have them go up against the trios champions? You know?
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to figure out where everything connects, and then with, you know, Darby kind of lying in wait, and where's Darby?
Well, he's dead. He got put in a coffin.
Oh,
well,
yeah,
Sting,
that's right.
Sting got him out though, so yeah, no, he's alive.
No. But again, all criticisms aside, this was a good match. Jack Perry doesn't really have anything to prove, in my opinion.
I don't think so either.
He's a good wrestler. He's proved himself since day one, in my opinion. This was just a good back and forth. I had a moment where I was like, he's not going to lose the championship, right? They have to. I think when he's going to lose the championship, aside from like whoever it's against, I think you're going to know when when it's going to happen, because it's going to be his last match.
I think he loses at Wrestle Dream.
That's what a lot of people are saying, because it's in Washington.
Yeah.
But they're going to make a big deal out of it, you know, because it's like, it's his last match is whenever he loses that championship.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this was good. Coming back out to final, they're gonna keep paying the money for the final countdown.
Yep.
Love that. Did you have any thoughts on the during the match as opposed to the after the match?
Not too much. I really enjoyed just their back and forth. Obviously the crowd was super behind Danielson and the yeses were louder than ever. Jack Perry, I mean, it's exactly like you said. Jack Perry has nothing to prove. He's proved his in-ring ability. He can go. He can hang with the best. Yeah, it was fine. I just think my thing is already what we talked about. Right after the match, well, to end it, Jack Perry, crucifix pose, sacrificed himself.
Yeah, he's doing that a lot.
Yeah, that's his thing.
I think he's just willing to like die for our sins.
Yeah, pretty much. So he knew he was beat, so he just went for it.
I mean, he is the scapegoat.
Yeah, exactly.
He died for CM Punk's sins.
Yep.
He died for Team AEW's sins in the war game, or Blood and Guts.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's dying for everyone's sin. He's Jesus. He's the sacrificial lamb.
Yeah.
The sacrificial goat.
After the match is when we had our final attempted murder of the evening.
I'm still grieving.
Danielson celebrating. Kill switch comes out. Christian Cage's music hits. He comes out. He's got the AEW Money in the Bank. Casino Battle Royale contract signing with him. He's seemingly going to cash in his title shot. He's standing outside of the ring, bottom of the ramp. Mox comes out. Mox and his crew. They stand in front of Christian, and it's like, oh shit. Shit's about to go down. Christian's like, okay. All right. I'm out of here. They get in the ring, and they have one big, beautiful celebration like a family. The BCC, they are stronger than ever. Woo! Claudio fucking uppercuts Danielson right there. His face immediately, he didn't even sell it. He was just like, huh? He's like, what are you doing? Wheeler Yuta is shocked. In tears, dude. He's like screaming.
Wheeler Yuta is Zach Wentz after Wesley portrayed the Rascals.
He's getting held back by Pac in the corner, and he's like, oh my God. Oh, he's like sitting there crying, reaching out. Mox takes a fucking plastic bag and covers Danielson's face with it, and he is killing him. Crowd is chanting, "This is murder." And it was attempted murder, dude.
Pay-per-view is the only place where we're going to see that. They're not going to air that on TV. They're not posting it on YouTube.
Yeah.
You will only be seeing it like in the Twitter replies, because I don't think any place would even allow that to be uploaded.
Right.
Most places won't, because it looks so real.
What do you think this means for Mox and everyone else?
I like this because I feel like Wheeler Yuta has always kind of been the young boy of the BCC.
Yeah.
Like the least experienced. He has a lot to prove, kind of thing. So this is like him finally breaking from that, and now he's never been in like a singles position. He was like pure champion in Ring of Honor for a minute, but like even then he was still part of BCC. This is like his first time being on his own, or I guess in this case maybe he will like team with Danielson. I don't really know. As for Mox though, now we've got Mox, Marina Shafir, Claudio, and maybe Pac. I guess Pac.
Yeah, I would say Pac because he was holding back Wheeler.
But also they're trios champions.
Right.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. So this new faction already has gold.
Right, but also like Wheeler. So Wheeler is almost like, unless he gives up the championship, Wheeler is like stuck in this like
He just
weird.
gives it to Mox.
I don't even know if he'll like. I could see them like.
But they can't do that, according to Christopher Daniels.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I could see them keeping it, like just keeping it on Wheeler and forcing him to like be in this faction against his own will.
Yeah, maybe that's why they held him back and didn't like fucking obliterate him.
Also, we got to talk about Darby again because Mox has been calling out Darby. My prediction is that for the first time in his AEW career, Darby turns heel.
Oh, and joins them.
And joins them. I don't know though, because this is the Mox is so cryptic. This is the most cryptic. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen from him, ever seen just in general. It's so strange. Something about it is just so weird, but not in a bad way. It's just like, oh my God, I don't know what this guy is about to do. Like,
right.
I could see either Darby has a match with him and then joins. I just see this ending with Darby joining him, and then it's a story angle for his match with Danielson. That's my prediction. It might not go that way, but that's just how I've been viewing it. That's kind of how I viewed it ever since he called out Darby, because I was like, well, what about the Blackpool Combat Club and also Darby's match at Grand Slam? So there's still so much uncertainty, but yeah, dude, Mox tried kill. I don't know how Danielson was okay with doing that.
Crazy.
Oh, fuck, man.
The medical team comes out with oxygen mask, puts it on him, and then they couldn't afford a stretcher because they used all their budget on the final countdown, so they just carried him out.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, huh, okay. Not going to question it.
They couldn't afford it.
We're going to carry him out like a rag doll.
Yeah. My God.
Yeah. What a night, dude. I think for me, like, this pay-per-view was a great example of being able to follow the next matchup with something, except for Mercedes.
yeah.
That killed the momentum for me, but just about every match.
And the Young Bucks.
You're like, how can they top this?
Yeah.
And then they do.
Yeah.
Like, right, what did we start with? The MJF.
Yeah.
I think the tag team match after kept the momentum up. And then I think Ospreay went insane.
Yep.
Ospreay and Pac. And then I think Willow and Statlander topped it. And then we had the Continental 4-Way, kept that energy moving. Forget about TBS. World title match, kept that energy moving. I don't think it like topped some of the other stuff. But then Swerve and Hangman was like the perfect cherry on top. And it just kept the crowd like into it for the most part. And I'm gonna give All Out 2024. I'm gonna give it a 4.56.
In honor of the Costco guys, I am going to give All Out 2024 5 big booms. Boom,
Wow.
boom, 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 boom.
Oh man.
Dude,
And you know what
absolutely solid show.
You know what I realized?
Huh.
We didn't do predictions for the Intercontinental.
I know. We had well, there's a reason for it, and this was a perfect plug. We recorded an episode with Deporticus last Thursday, so hence why we didn't do predictions for All Out. But that episode has been posted. A very, very solid episode. Also fun. Another one with 5 big booms, I would say. So go check out Deporticus. Very cool dude. Very fun to learn his story, and you guys should check it out.
Give him your money.
Yes, give us your money too. The Ko-fi link in the description. Go.
Yeah, dude, this was a fun episode. Very fun pay-per-view. If you're new to the channel and you like this kind of stuff, be sure to give it a like, give it a subscribe, hit the bell so that you never miss another upload. We do shorter form highlights from these podcasts too, if you don't like long form. So there's so many options for you as a viewer, and yeah, man, be sure to fucking drop kick the shit out of your fuck.
Yeah, and with that, I give this 5 big beep beeps. Beep beep. Beep beep. Beep beep. Fuck it.
Dropkick the commute, shining bright in the night. Join the conversation, be part of the crew.